Ayanchu from Machu Picchu. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nate. I carry all the stuff.
And we're the Passport Couple. We've been traveling the world full time for the last year and a half. We are in Peru, and today is a really big day. We are at our second world wonder, Machu Picchu.
Espresso doble, tostadas, huevos revueltos y salsa picante.
Empanada y latte. Today is the day, but first things first, we have to buy our bus tickets. Luckily, these are the one thing that don't sell out ahead of time, so we can actually book them on the day of. We were able to get our round trip bus tickets. It was $12 per person each way for only a 25-minute bus ride, so it's kind of expensive, but it's Machu Picchu. Because Machu Picchu gets so incredibly crowded, the bus lines can be upwards of an hour sometimes, especially really early in the morning. Obviously in 2021 it looks a little bit different, but we're still here an hour and a half before our timed entry tickets, just in case, and I want to make sure we get there right on time so we get every possible minute in Machu Picchu.
Uy, eso es de las 13, de la 1, de las 2 falta. A la 1:20 aquí, por favor. You come back.
Okay.
20 minutes.
Someone from the bus company just walked up to check our entry to Machu Picchu. We have the 2 o'clock timed entry, and we're not allowed on the buses until 1:20. Right now it's 12:20, so we're about an hour early. And yeah, we can't get on the bus right now. Oh, no scanner. ¿Necesitas? Turns out we need face shields for the bus too. We left ours at the hotel, so I'm gonna pick up some quick. Necesitamos 2, por favor.
Gracias. ¿Cuántos?
8 soles. Luckily, less than 10 steps from the bus, there's someone who's selling face shields, and they're all ready. She knows what she's doing. Can't see anything.
So how do you get to Machu Picchu? The first step is flying to Lima, Peru. Then from Lima, Peru to Cusco. And then you take a train from Cusco to Aguas Calientes. And then you take this bus, or you can hike, but it's about an hour and a half hike, and it's a pretty steep incline. And I'll be honest, the elevation has been killing us thus far. And one flight of steps has been painful. So we opted for the bus instead. And we're the only ones on the bus.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens too often. Thank you.
One stop. Okay. Okay, yeah. Our bus driver just stopped the bus for us to get off and look at this incredible view. And then he's gonna meet us up just a little way so we can hop back on the rest of the way. But there's Machu Picchu. This is so cool.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. That is one of the bumpiest rides we have been on in a little while. We actually had to get Alicia's like motion sickness bands out because it was pretty rough. And my fear of heights started to kind of kick in because, as you can see, we're pretty high up. And sometimes we're getting very close to that edge, like with those tires. And oh my gosh, too many terrible thoughts go through my mind. Look at this view. Wow. Okay, we got the beef. We gotta go. We got so lucky to have this whole bus to ourselves and have the nicest bus driver probably at Machu Picchu. Thank you.
I cannot believe that. That was so awesome.
Okay.
That view was so epic.
This fell apart completely.
These are really fast shields. Oh my gosh. I think he said he's gonna stop one more time too.
Really?
I think.
Oh my gosh, it's there. Is he letting us out?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we get to get out again. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. We're getting closer.
Can you believe this right now?
No, I cannot. Right there.
Best bus driver in the world. We're here! I'm so excited! Muchas gracias! That's amazing! It's finally time to go inside Machu Picchu. You're only allowed in at your selected time slot, since they have timed entry tickets once every hour from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. and ours is at 2 p.m. Machu Picchu is hugely popular with over 1 million visitors every year. In recent years, they've limited the number of people that can come each day, which is why tickets sell out up to 6 months in advance. Under the current circumstances, we were able to book our tickets only 8 weeks ago, and even today, there's still tickets available. Right now, they're only letting in 40% capacity, which is 897 people per day. Normally, it's 2,240 people per day. So I think we're gonna be seeing it like it's never been seen before. ¿Qué hora está cerrado?
A las 5 se empiezan a retirar ya todos.
We just found out that we only have 3 hours. Normally the limit is 4 hours per time slot, but Machu Picchu is closing today at 5 p.m. instead of 6, so we kind of gotta hurry. We're going through the first circuit to see as much as possible. We are up at 2,700 meters, which isn't as high as we've been before, but for some reason, altitude is really getting to us this trip.
The most popular time to visit Machu Picchu is the 6 a.m. time slot, which is the sunrise spot. The trade-off is that there can be a lot of cloud coverage, which of course can affect the experience, which is why we opted for the afternoon spot of 2 p.m. Because as you can see, we have beautiful weather. In addition to that, there are far fewer people here. There were over 300 spots left for this time slot today. This is Huayna Picchu. This is the most demanded experience here at Machu Picchu. It is a morning hike. You have to book it when you book your tickets, and there's only 400 spots available per day, only in the morning slots. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, it's completely closed off, so we couldn't buy these tickets when we booked our tickets, and even still, it's not open today.
There's also a second mountain that you climb that's a little less popular. Machu Picchu Mountain is located on the other side of Machu Picchu and has just as incredible of views. Unfortunately, that's also closed, so we won't be able to climb either of these mountains today. Before you even enter the actual site of Machu Picchu, you come by the guards tower, and this is where all of the epic views and pictures you've seen. And this is where we spent most of our time so far. 33:30, so we're halfway through our time, and we're finally heading to the alpacas and the llamas. We love alpacas. Machu Picchu is an Incan citadel. A citadel is a fortress up on a high place overlooking or protecting the city. And this is definitely in a high place. It was originally built in the 1400s and was likely abandoned about 100 years later when the Spanish conquest started taking over South America. It's super easy to get lost in here because they don't really have a ton of signs. There's no Disneyland style maps when you walk through the door, mostly because they're trying to push more business for their guides. The guides obviously know a ton and know where they're going, but I did find where we are right now. Just below us is a view of the Temple of the Sun. It was originally used for astronomical purposes, which the Incan were incredible with. They were able to predict solstices and see the Milky Way, and it was just incredible what they knew so many hundreds of years ago. There's also a view of the Royal Tomb, which is a natural rock cave just below the Temple of Sun. You can't go in, but you can see it through a glass pane.
This so fun.
I know.
But it's already 4.
Machu Picchu is obviously an UNESCO World Heritage Site and has been since the 80s. They quote that Machu Picchu is the most amazing urban creation of the Inca Empire at its height. Its giant walls, terraces, and ramps seen as if they have been cut naturally in the continuous rock escarpments. Machu Picchu is shrouded in mystery, and since it wasn't believed to be an actual city up here, it's estimated that only 750 people lived here. And when the weather was really bad, that number dropped down to 150, and they're basically just doing maintenance work to keep this place in check. It started showing up in maps around 1874 after a couple of German businessmen and engineers found this place on one of their expeditions. It really came onto the world stage in 1911 when an American explorer, Bingham, found Machu Picchu when he was looking for the old Incan capital. A local villager named Melchor Arteaga pointed him up to the top of this mountain, saying he knew of something called Machu Picchu. Machu in the Quechua language means old, and Picchu means peak, so they think it just means on the old mountain. Bingham received a panoramic Kodak camera before it came out on market and took some awesome photos. If you get a chance, look it up on Nat Geo. Unfortunately, they're copyrighted, so I can't show them, but definitely worth a look. Like I said earlier, we got a little lost, and I'm pretty sure we passed one of the cooler things, Intihuatana. Intihuatana. It's a rock that the Incans made to predict solstices. It also is one of the only ones left of its kind because when the Spanish conquered over the Incan Empire, they destroyed all of them. But the Spanish never found Machu Picchu, so this one survived.
Behind me is Sacred Rock. It looks like people make offerings.
Whoa.
How pretty was that?
Hi, guys.
All right, one more time, guys, for the camera, please.
And 5, 6, 7, 8.
And nothing. Oh my gosh.
It is stunning everywhere you look, and I completely understand why it is one of the wonders of the world. It's incredible.
Without a doubt. Everywhere, too. Not just one place, not just one lookout point. Everywhere you walk, it's stunning.
We are nearing the end of circuit number 1, which it's been about 2.5 hours, and we have stopped a lot. Definitely feasible to do this whole thing in 3 hours, even though most of the time you have 4. I know I keep coming back to the Incas' level of knowledge about astrology for their time period, but this is another amazing feat. These are the water mirrors, where they're small pools of water that lay completely still, and on a clear night they're able to reflect the sky. So instead of having to crane their neck and look up at the sky, they can just look into these pools. It's basically like a photograph before there were photographs. So there's water flowing through this right now, and I think that this is part of their irrigation system, their water canals for the terrace system. It's really cool. We're currently the last ones in Machu Picchu. There's some people still in it just in front of us, but we are being herded out now by the last park ranger, I guess. Okay, another bumpy ride.
I really do not want to close this vlog out because it means that our day at Machu Picchu is officially over.
It was such an incredible day and honestly exceeded our expectations, which were already pretty high.
By a lot, too. So if you enjoyed it as much as we did, please hit the like button below. And if you want to stamp your passports with us again,
make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys. It's the next day and we're back at the hotel in Aguascalientes, and I just want to say that I seriously regret
wearing short sleeves and a dress to Machu Picchu. I have so many bug bites. This is the current state of my legs. I have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here on my ankle. Apparently they're called midges and they're invisible and they are so painful and itchy. Definitely should have worn pants, and next time we come back, I'm covering up completely.
Machu Picchu is hugely poppers. All right, one more bumpy ride. Oh.
Just so you are. It's not a vlog.
Shut up. I'm trying to record.
What are you recording?
My
Those hairy things?
Shut up.
What?
You put your hat on because you knew I was going to record you, huh?
I did. You know how badly I need a haircut. It's awful. Let me look like this.
Wow, that is not what I thought I'd be capturing.
Machu Picchu is often referred to.
It's so green and beautiful everywhere, and Alicia has to pee.
Sorry. Even though we're on the other side of the complex, you can actually see Itahuatana right there.